Yo, greetings, Grace. How do you do? Alright. Um, Namaste. Hotep Ashe. Greetings. Greetings. Peace. Peace be with you. Okay, I wanted to talk about I and where. Just put some music on. Where my thoughts have led me while thinking and pondering. With me drumming. Good background noise, I guess. Okay, so speaks about I and that could be interpreted as I, so the name I call myself, I, the I inside as well, like also eyeball, EYE, I and I being two eyes, or I and I being I and I, if you know what I mean, like me and you, rather than that separateness of me and you. It's a sort of unity to it, which is I and I. So instead of okay, so instead of like giving a difference between the I that is I and the I that is you, or the I that sees I, or even, yeah, the eye, the camera eye, the pupil, bam, that. I have an eye, an opening, an iris, and I look at I and I. So that's, yeah, that's one way of looking at it, I and I. So as I said, it's also can be associated with I, the eyeball, and what are we but basically just an observer in the universe, observing the universe itself. So you can say that anything that has an eye is interesting shape actually. Shit. Looking at myself. Anyway. So it's I that's the basic is Pisces, you know? Again. What up? Infinity. And beyond. I'm just fucking around. Anyway. Alright, so this is where I start thinking and philosophizing. So alright. Then what one eye can do, all eyes can do as well. What I is, all eyes are. I am that I am. So this is basically saying anything that I can do, the eye that is watching can also do. There's that sort of unity towards it. There's no real separation between eyes at all. It's sort of, you switch your mindset, I guess, to something all encompassing, or which encompasses every individual, but doesn't see it. Well, it sees every individual as an individual, but an individual that represents like everything, more or less. Oh, yeah. So what else? What one eye can do, all eyes can do. What eye is, all eyes are. And what is the eye? The eye is I am that I am. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you look at that sentence, I am that I am. So I am, that's one idea of the self. That, so what it is in relation to another, or to something else is itself again. So that I am is, you can simplify it to I and I. So then one can be like any I. Now I covered that. Be the I that is I, taking your own individual stance of the I, but having it in relation to the other I's. But it can act as any I desires from the. So basically, like, we can then by this choose to be whatever I want to be. We can be the lowest, I guess, or we can be the highest. We can, and by that having two different directions, up or down, spiraling up or spiraling down, then we would, I guess, have this idea of going higher. I mean, like, who wants to go at the bottom? Like, what's above the mountain? What's on top of the mountain, so to say. So what we can do, or what I'd have done, is I needed to have like a sort of anchorage, I guess. So the anchorage was the Most High. Alright, just carry on writing or reading what I wrote. If then the I can be any I, then I should be the highest that I can be. I can then be like the Most High. I can attain to be the best I, the most loving I, the most I. If ego is a lie, then what is the I but the Most High? A spark of fragments, separated from the whole, temporarily, to try reconnect with the whole. So now we have this idea of having that separate observer, sort of separated from the cosmic being, cosmic man, or like like God or cosmos. So there's that, and that by itself is what consciousness is. It's that sort of awareness, self-awareness, that awareness of others, which is also a form of self-awareness anyway. So it's all about the universe looking in on itself. That's why there's all the symbols of the I. There's Studio Ghibli anime where I'm just trying to think of what it's called. Was it Studio Ghibli actually? Maybe something maybe about the children on the hill. I'll try actually find it and like post a link on my Tumblr or something. But anyway, it involves the story of like the Hollow Earth, and it's like uh, these people go into the Hollow Earth and then like try to save other people and like go on a whole mission. And anyway, there has one scene about like this godlike figure, and it's this being, this massive being, 11:22 p.m. What up? That all over its body has eyes, like just eyes. So thinking with that again, and yeah, just that like sort of Godhead, with the like head, like you there with your staff. I have a staff. I should use it more. It's lame that staffs are socially unacceptable. Or maybe they are. Maybe we should make them to be socially acceptable. Staff carriers, man. Pilgrims on the way. Yes, so anyway, this then, going back, can sort of tie into ideas of well, we get like Kundalini from. And Kundalini is basically the like Shakti energy trying to seek union with Shiva. So it rises from the base of your spine, that sort of divine feminine energy, the goddess energy of Kundalini, and it rises up your spine like the staff of Caduceus, whatever it's called, like has two intertwining serpents spiraling up again. What? Um, and basically, once it goes through all your chakras, energy centers, above through your and up your spine, and eventually hit your head, and then it's like this intense, like atomic energy, pretty much. It's pretty intense, like for real. Um, yeah, goes into your head, and then like tries to exit from like a little hole top of your head, and once it enters, or once it enters into, once it enters, has that sort of sexual um, intercourse with, that's like I guess sexual in a symbolic way, union with Shiva. So it exits this individual form, like the sort of 1133 there. Um, this separated form of the body and then it turns into it like seeks union with the all that is, like the unmanifested maybe, or like maybe the void. I don't know what you want to call it, but basically everything outside ourselves, which is, like flipped upside down as well. Yeah, so that's also quite interesting. It says, a fragment of the whole that is a whole, yet unknowingly we believe we are separated from the all. Our potential is to become living gods. So if we basically, like, this is the deal, like, we all have that fragment of divinity, like that spark, and that spark is like the soul, that flame. And if we get that flame to burn and like rise higher and higher and higher and just keep on like like increasing, like raising your vibration, um, having that Kundalini thingy, sort of having a sense of like what's really happening, like outside ourselves, and inside ourselves, so internally, externally, up and down, above, below, inside, or internally, externally. So, basically, if we sort of attain to that higher goal of like the Most High, we can be the living embodiments of the Most High. You know what I mean? Like you can be whatever way you choose to do it. You know what I mean? Like which path, however you want to take your path, however the path takes you along. You know what I mean? Um, just start following that like yellow brick road again, like following back to the Camino de Santiago. You follow these yellow arrows in north of Spain, and whenever there's like a fork in the road, you just follow the arrow, follow the signs. You need to read, you need to be able to read the signs. Use number sequence 1414 there. Sort of, and it doesn't have to be like a number sequence. It could be anything. Like you're just chilling there, whatever. Something grabs your attention. You move your head, and the first thing your eyes like gaze upon is like an elephant with a crown, or like uh, shit, I don't know, or like a symbol on the road, or like your attention like goes to conversation that's like people just passing and they're saying this word, word, like one word, and it just triggers like a memory or like a sensation inside of you, or like, like you listening to a song and it makes such like complete sense, like sort of like pulls you up, you know what I mean? All of those are the signs that are sort of like, like shepherding you, like the ancestors, like angels and ascend masters, all like subtly, like sort of like nudging you in certain ways, like sort of giving you heads up, like watch out, like gotta be on point, you know, and one should be on point regardless. Like try to always be on point. Like something I sort of suffer with is I often get like detached, um, or like withdrawn, I guess. Um, yeah, I gotta deal with that. But yeah, so basically, and of course, like this idea of the Most High being something that sort of transcends that duality of like I and I, like the I'm not too sure which I, but sort of the sun and the moon, you know what I mean? Like the masculine and feminine, going back to the duality thing, the two hemispheres, the two eyes, you know. There's a quote, what is it, no, yeah, Matthew, what is it, 4:16? No, it's not that one. It's Matthew. Oh shit, where is it now? 6:22. Yeah, this is the new international version. Just like pulled it up, BibleHub.com. The eye is a lamp of the body. If the eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. Okay, another one. Yeah, this one. King James Bible. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. So, oh shit, yeah, this is it, yeah. So, going back to the two planets, right? The sun, it's a light, it shines light for us. It illuminates it. We observe from it, and by having that thing about saying the eye is like a light. You can sort of see it as a lantern. It like shines a light in the dark. The dark being this matrix or like external world, and how we've forgotten like what we are. And basically, yeah, the two eyes being the sources of light, the moon and the sun, the two celestial bodies, representing masculine and feminine, like yin yang, all that sort of duality stuff. So uh, basically, if we can um, overcome that illusion that we see with these two eyes instead of this eye, you know what I mean? Like, because whatever we're seeing with these eyes is just an appearance, and we judging, uh, we make judgments on the appearance. We like gain knowledge from just appearance, not from something in itself. You know what I mean? Like, um, this is just what we see, and what we see is often not really what's going on. Or like we maybe unbalanced, and we have like one of more like having a more like sun sort of view of something, like more masculine type of view of something. Or if we more on the feminine side, we just have like a more feminine way of viewing things. But that's just like, it's not the whole picture. You know what I mean? Like it's just half. So if we do both of them, and then like third eye, like two hemispheres, so we can go backwards from external to internal. So it's like external stimuli, so it's sight, and then we can close our eyes, block out that sight, and then we can like sort of like I mean, like go into our eyes, and then to the part of the brain, and the other one as well, and then we can be like, okay, this is more feminine, this is more masculine, so I need more masculine or feminine, or vice versa, and we sort of balance it out, balance, start visualizing of balance. So what I did normally was I would imagine like this chaotic sound, like a sine wave, I guess, but like lots and overlapped, and that would represent like my busy mind. And then what I would do is I would like slowly then like by visualizing it, uh, slowly like visualizing like the multitude of like sine waves just like slowly start to gather and then form like one, but it might still be like hectic. So then after it being hectic and up and down and very noisy and active, then uh, yeah, I guess that's good though to be like, oh yeah, I don't know. Anyway, side note. Um, and then what I did was I would slowly like relax them and then like slower and slower and slower, and then like pull it down as well, make it just like one line. And once it had a line, so that like calm, like sort of a horizon, I guess. Then I started to quite interesting. I started to like dissolve the lines to like sort of, or like go into it and then like see how that divide actually happens, how that divides. But if you go closer to that divide, you end up like realizing like it's just sort of like a massive grayscale, I guess. So on one spectrum white, on the other black, and then in between black and white there's gray. In between that gray and white there's like a lighter gray, and it just goes like infinitely onwards. So that's like yo, heavy, heavy, heavy. The cat's coughing. Hey Phoebe, are you okay? Yeah, so do that, and then bang, bing, you know what I mean? Light bulb, ding, pineal gland activation. It's actually like a legit light, like pretty scary. Well, pretty cool. Yeah, 22, 22. Are you okay, Phoebe? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's carry on. Wrote some more. So I said this is Kundalini, uh, which is like a divine rebirth, really. So Shakti, the bottom, the feminine, seeking union with Shiva, the masculine. The singular, seeking union with the whole. So it's sort of like a paradox, but not really. Thereby taking the perspective of seeing every I as I. Going back to I and I again. So once this happens, then one realizes like, oh, okay, what I'm seeing is just like a reflection, in some way. And yeah, this basically is I and I. Like I sometimes get into sort of same mind where I'm walking around and it's just uh, like I'm in a room sort of filled with mirrors, sort of like like Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, that's it. That was my note idea I wanted to share. It might be a bit heavy, but I like heavy. So, peace. Namaste, Hotep, Hashem.